Somebody come get 'em, they're too old for TikTok.
Hello, and welcome to Too Old for TikTok. It's really been my favorite week of TikTok, I think, this whole year. Catalina, you're looking like you're not agreeing, but my TikTok is on fire. Let's just say I'm loving the trends, I'm loving what's happening, and it coincides with the week I'm getting married, so it's a present to me.
I mean, my TikTok, as I told you, as we were about to record, was 95% the manhunt for the person who shot the United Healthcare CEO. So I feel like we were, and also Bachfest.
Right. Okay. So we intersect at Bachfest. So we'll talk about Bachfest. You'll talk about the United Healthcare CEO shooter, because that's not on my For You page at all. I am getting this audio trend that we're going to talk about. I'm also getting a lot of Survivor content, like the show, but we won't talk about that here because there was just great episode that just happened. So I'm getting all the discourse on TikTok. I'm getting a lot of Cynthia Erivo videos, like just her, not even related to Wicked, just her singing like Edelweiss.
Edelweiss.
Edelweiss. That was my mom saying that to me as a lullaby growing up.
Oh, I actually have a follow-up question for you. Are you walking down the aisle to the Schindler's List theme song?
I am not, but I did make this really weird note to my band that I hope they play it during cocktail hour. And when we went over like our request for like first dance song, everything, he just skimmed over that note completely. And me and Ben were too embarrassed to bring it up.
You have to bring it up so that we can do our TikTok video.
I know. But that trend is over. It's the one where it's like, I hope they play Hot to Go. Oh, no, yeah. I hope they play Schindler's List. And you say, Dina, it's your wedding.
Well, I mean, the trend is I hope they play Hot to Go. I mean, we could do it when Ivan and I are standing outside during, like, the Jewish thing that you have to do.
The Jewish thing. Okay, let me explain yours and Ivan's role at the wedding. Right after the ceremony, the bride and groom goes into a room for 10 minutes.
To consummate their marriage.
Alone. And
to consummate their marriage.
You elect two bodyguards to make sure no one disturbs them. So that's yours and Ivan's job. So you cannot leave the door.
You know what I just realized? This is like the equivalent of like Mormons soaking. The person who like jumps on the bed. Dina already told me that she's not doing that while she sits in the room. She's going to be eating pigs in a blanket.
I will be eating pigs. Well, you don't know what kind of pigs in a blanket.
Ew. Ew.
That was a terrible joke. No, we really will be just consuming some food in the room. That was terrible.
I have to go. I mean, it was pretty good.
Okay. I think we should.
This is a family program.
Sure. I think we should get right into it because, like I said, we just have so many TikToks to talk about.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to start with the audio trend that has taken TikTok by storm. And I think this is how it started. It started with the olive oil story. And it's a picture of a Muppet, a sad Muppet. And the song is like a prayer, this version. So over the sad Muppet picture are a series of photos that just contain text of storytelling about really embarrassing stories. Let's read a bunch of examples, Catalina.
Okay. Do you want me to actually read one?
Yeah, I think we should read them.
Should we read the olive oil one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The olive oil one is as follows. That one night when I was in high school, when I decided to try an olive oil mask for my hair since someone laughed at me and said my hair looked like hay. After I soaked my hair in oil, I saran wrapped my head. I went down to the garage to get a drink out of our garage fridge. This is all carousel, which I feel like we need to emphasize.
They're all different slides, yeah.
I put way too much olive oil. It dripped everywhere. The path became an oil slick. Suddenly, one of our cats jumped out, frightened me, and I went flying on the oil. I slammed into the door and passed out. I woke up in complete darkness. The lights were on a timer. I panicked. I didn't know where I was. My phone was dead. I tried to stand. My legs were completely asleep, and I was covered in oil. I tried to run to the door. I slammed into many things, knocking them over, making tons of noise, screaming. I finally got to the house door. I opened it and set off the house alarm. My family had gone to bed and set it. I tried to type in the right code. I didn't because I was so confused. They probably had a concussion. I make my way as fast as I can to my room. Oh, we changed tense. We're not a good writer. Sorry, no offense. As soon as I get upstairs, the full burglar alarm starts blasting. I had never heard it before. 6 million likes. My dad jumps out in front of me, only in his underwear, wielding a titanium baseball bat. We both scream. He's pissed. He turns off the alarm. I go to my room, lay down a towel, lay down my saran-wrapped head for slumber. 15 minutes later, I hear noises coming from the door below my bedroom. I look out the window. 3 men in all black with flashlights, trying to pick the lock. I have to wake up Dad again. We're being robbed. Turns out it was the police checking out the alarm trigger. They were already in the neighborhood due to a water line break. My dad is pissed. By this time, I have to be up in an hour. I don't sleep. I listen to the winter storm outside. My head soaks in the oil. When it's time to wake up, I run to the bathroom to rinse the oil out of my hair. Because of the water line break, there's no water. I go to school with saran-wrapped head.
So
it's pretty bad.
It's so funny. Yeah, it has 6.6 million likes. And then the creator, Megan Chocolis, followed it up with a reenactment. And the reenactment is so good.
My God, Megan. I really enjoyed the reenactment. It added some texture to the story. The saran-wrapped head. Ugh, I have been enjoying these. I think that it's a good trend.
Yeah. Then K. Jade G, the creator, wrote about this trend. I am so grateful for this trend. The olive oil story has me crying. The reenactment of the olive oil story deserves an Oscar. TikTok may be getting banned on January 19th, but at least we got this before. So obviously TikTok's been in the news because of the ban, but I don't even think we should talk about it. Like, let's just enjoy what we have this week.
Here's the thing. I am going to talk about it.
Okay, fine.
If the ban happens, it's fine. It's not my career. I feel bad. I think that there's just going to be a migration, and that's that.
I think they'll figure something out where, it'll become U.S. owned, which is what they're trying to do. I don't know. They're going to figure something out.
Yeah. I got to say, I'm not worried. I'm more worried about other things politically than I am about the TikTok ban.
Agreed. Let's move on to some more examples of this trend with the song Like a Prayer. This one's from Claire E. 1998. When I noticed a little kid lying on the ground and moving his limbs like he was having a tantrum, so I said, "Aw, looks like someone needs a nap." And his dad said, "Nope, cerebral palsy. That will haunt me till the day I die." So that was a shorter one. Not as elaborate as the oil story, but yeah, pretty embarrassing.
It's bad. It's really bad. Okay, this one I really liked because there's a follow-up. I still think about the time I was doing sorority recruitment, and when I ran out of things to say, I got really nervous and started asking the PNMs, if you were a vegetable, what kind would you be? They always looked at me kind of weird, but it became my go-to question, so I kept asking it all day to every girl I sat down with. And I'm just going to summarize. So basically, everyone starts crying the next day because they are now known as the vegetable sorority. And they're like, what
girl ruined recruitment by asking these questions?
And then it's so funny because now the actual sorority has come forward and all the girls are like, this is so funny. And people are commenting like, you need to do like a vegetable themed recruitment this year.
Yes.
That is so amazing. And like, I'm not in a sorority, or have never been in a sorority, but just knowing the way that people like start taking these groups like so seriously, and just like imagine if when you were in the sorority being sat down and being yelled at that like you guys were now known as the vegetable sorority, like you would have died laughing.
Oh my
like
God.
I would
I used to almost get kicked out of chapter meetings because they would take it so seriously, and I would probably be like hungover. Oh, I got yelled at once because I started like trying to lie down on a floor because we were sitting on the floor and I was hungover, and they're like, sit up, one of the older members, and I was like, okay, no.
It's just like people on power trips in very stupid powers. It's basically like any job you ever had, the interpersonal dynamics where people are on these like wild power trips at your like service industry restaurant job, which like I've experienced, you know. And so I feel like that also it happens in the sorority world, where it's like beyond it happens in every social scenario, where it's like beyond this room, who gives a fuck?
Exactly. The only service industry job I had was at a catering hall at my parents' temple, and every time they would do a pre-meeting before an event like a wedding, the guy was so serious and he would just stare down at his shoe the whole time, and me and my friend would die laughing. Like, I could not control myself. Anytime there's a serious situation, I just can't control it.
At my high school job at the elderly home where I was a waitress, our whipped cream canisters had no gas in them because people were doing whippets.
Oh, jeez. Good. Okay. The next one, which is a very New York one, is really good. It's by Tessie Hill.
Can you summarize this one, actually? Because I was so grossed out by it that I swiped away.
Okay.
I was like, I can't even read this.
I'm going to read a few and then I'll summarize.
Okay.
A year ago, I had quite possibly the worst experience to ever be experienced on the New York subway. I had to go into the office on a Friday afternoon to return a pair of boots that I'd left the day before. It was warmer than I anticipated, so I was sweating in my sweater vest and black cargo jeans, which were rentals from Nuuly. I ran around Midtown trying to find somewhere to return my boots, literally dripping in sweat. Finally, I returned them and went to the 28th Street station to get on the W train going downtown. I'm never on the W train. I live in Brooklyn. It doesn't make sense for me to be on the train, but I was sweaty and annoyed and hot and wanted to treat myself to a subway ride. Things were looking up. My errand was complete, and I was listening to 1989 in my noise-canceling headphones. I'm not summarizing, Catalina. It's too good. It's almost done. I got on the train, hooked my arm around the pole, and sat down. Immediately, I knew something was wrong. My ass felt wet. I stood up and saw what was now spread all over my ass, a seat full of human shit. I flugged my headphones off and heard murmurs on the train. People were whispering, "I'm so sorry," and "Oh my God," and "I can't believe that happened." I whirled around and yelled at those sitting near the human shit, "Why didn't you say anything to me? Why didn't you tell me I was about to sit in shit?" A man sitting directly across from this shit just shrugs his shoulders and said, "I'm sorry." Okay, now I will summarize from here. But basically, she goes to a Lululemon, and the Lululemon is very nice to her, and she changes out of her shit pants. However, the shit pants, since they were rented from Nuuly, she washed them and then sent them back to Nuuly. Now, I had never heard of this company, Nuuly. I guess it's like a
I've used
Rent
it.
the Runway type
It's
thing.
like Rent the Runway, but it's like it's not as expensive of clothing as Rent the Runway. It's more like Anthropologie and like Farm Rio. There's some expensive stuff, but it's a lot more high street brands than it's more down market.
Gotcha. I am proud of myself because I have seen human feces on a subway too and been on the car, and I have been the person to say, "Don't sit there," to someone. I've saved people. Yeah, I'm appalled that this girl, like, no one told this girl, like, don't sit there. It's so crazy.
I think I might have told this story on the podcast already once, but like one time I was on the subway in Madrid and I was just like playing Brick Breaker so intensely on my BlackBerry that I was completely just like deaf to the world around me, immune to the world around me, and all of a sudden there was like a ruckus and I realized that someone had vomited like right across from me and it was going everywhere and everyone was like clearing out. But
you were playing Brick Breaker.
I was just like so focused on my Brick Breaker game.
Well, people need to warn you. Like, they should have said something like, "Hey girl, get up.
Hey girl, stop playing Brick Breaker." Yeah. No, okay, so then people are freaking out because they're like, I rent from Nuuly, like, I don't want the shit pants.
Right.
So
Nuuly
that
has a response.
Yes, and this is sort of like a trend / brands on TikTok where the social media manager writes, "It's Saturday afternoon and I'm hanging out at home. My cat is sitting beside me asleep on the couch. I get a text message from my friend. Have you seen this? I open TikTok and see the most devastating video about someone sitting in literal shit. I stare blankly at my phone. I am Nuuly's social media manager. Oh shit. I send it to my boss and attempt to have a normal weekend, but can't stop thinking about that Nuuly subscriber. I am haunted. My boss is also haunted. Monday morning, I walk into the office. Everyone's talking about Shitgate. I am pulled into an emergency meeting to discuss the video. How does one talk about subway shit with their boss? I enter the comment section and begin to respond. Yes, you can rent jeans. Yes, that pair of jeans has been removed from the inventory. And then they go on to be like, everything's clean, sanitized, blah, blah, blah.
Nuuly.
You will not be charged for shit jeans. We literally love you guys and wouldn't do that to you. LOL.
It's a great response. And just like so ridiculous. There was another one I saw about a girl who took a Soul Cycle class for the first time and then ended up getting rhabdo. So everyone's like, oh my god, Soul Cycle. Like, it's just bad PR for all these brands.
Oh my god.
Okay, we have 2 more examples of this. One is mine.
Yeah, yours didn't go viral. Neither of yours. Is this your attempt to make yours and Ashley's go viral?
No, I just wanted to share it.
Okay, share a story.
Mine was basically just, I was talking to my dad this weekend, and I was like, oh, remember that time you told me you had 3 kidneys, but you really don't? So growing up, we always thought my dad had 3 kidneys, and then he learned when it was later on, when like medicine was more advanced, that it was just like a growth on his kidney, and he only has 2. So
you actually in the video said it was a pimple on his kidney.
He said it was a pimple. I don't know if that's true, but thank God none of us needed a new kidney yet, because he doesn't have a 3rd one.
Well, he can live with 1 kidney. But
yes.
One thing that I have to say as a follow-up is you told me that your dad had 3 kidneys in college, and so I'm wondering when this knowledge.
It was probably right after college that he realized it was not a 3rd kidney.
Well, I stayed thinking until I saw your video that your dad still had 3 kidneys.
It was fake news. Now, Ashley, friend of the pod, was very funny as well. She wrote, in college, Naughty by Nature was coming to perform, and so I made my aim away message, you down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. And then my sister wrote to me and said, do you know what OPP means? And I said, no. What does it mean? And she said, other people's pussy. Can I just say, and I commented this on her video, I didn't know that what OPP meant.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I also feel like until just now, I just realized I was like, oh, I get it. Like, Sam actually knew the lyrics of the song and what they meant, because for me, I was like, who cares what some people use the phrase OPP for? And now I'm like, oh, now I understand. Sam was like, this is what that line means, Ashley. Yeah. But yeah, I just learned that right now.
Then. I always think of you down with G-O-D, yeah, you know me, from Sister Act 2 from Joyful, but it's very different. What? You down with G-O-D, then you down with OPP.
Since we're talking about hip hop, I just wanted to say something, Dina. Jay-Z will never be joining TikTok.
Oh, you're right. Well, I think did I get you a shrimp cocktail yet?
No.
Oh my God, I must have.
No, you didn't.
I've tried to get shrimp cocktail moments with you, and I feel like I've been vehemently denied.
That is not true.
That is
now
true.
I know.
I'm always like, let's go to PJ Clark's and have a cocktail.
You
a shrimp cocktail moment.
Never. In fact, you do that with other people. And then you rub it in my face.
True. Every time I have a shrimp cocktail, I take a picture.
Well, why don't we have a shrimp cocktail in December?
We better.
Okay.
And we got to get you some birthday shrimp because your birthday's coming up.
That's true. It is.
Okay.
Excellent.
Let's move on. Has this been on your For You page about the Whirl Reader?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I've never seen this in my life.
This I'm finding hilarious. This explainer is by If It Weren't Funny. And at first it sounds like she's crying, but she's just laughing.
You'll see the TikTok with the girl who was like, hey, my friend started a book account, like a book reviewing TikTok. I want to play a prank on her, so I'm going to block her so she doesn't see this. Overnight, I want all of you guys to go to her account and like leave her comments insinuating that you know that she can't read. Diabolical. Okay, so it's, I'm not going to tag it because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But the account is The Whirl, WIRRAL, reader. Every comment, every single comment is like, it's so brave of you to start this account. One of them was like, my uncle didn't learn how to read till he was 30. You've got this. Oh my god, I can't believe this app is free some days.
So this friend is the creator, Oofy, and Oofy posted, like, go spam my friend who started this book account, and the comments are insane. And this has gotten so far that author Jodi Picoult is in on the trend, and I'll play a little of her video.
This is a message for the WeRoll reader, so if you're not the WeRoll reader, you can keep scrolling. If you are a WeRoll, hi! My name's Jodi Picoult, and I'm an author, someone who writes books. I heard you're beginning your reading journey, and I want to recommend a few good beginner books to get you started as you learn. Make Way for Ducklings, and Tango Makes Three, The Polar Express, If You Give a Pig a Pancake, Curious George Goes to the Chocolate Factory, Little Engine That Could, and Where the Wild Things Are. When you're ready, I hope you'll check out my books too.
So Jodi Picoult is recommending children's books to this person to try to teach her how to read. And all the comments are like, I wish she could read these comments, but one day she'll be able to. Just great. A great use of TikTok. I love it.
I don't know what this reader is still. I'm a little confused.
It was a joke. Someone played on their friend. But in the joke and getting a community together, this Whirl reader person now has so many followers. So it blew up her TikTok.
So the friend did them a solid.
Yeah, exactly. Even
This
though
reminds me,
she did sort of like insinuate she was like Leah Michelle and couldn't read.
that was
I knew you were
what I
going to
gonna
say
say.
Leah Michelle. Yeah.
Anyway,
what's been on your For You page?
well, as I said at the top of the pod, my For You page has been, I'd say, 75 to 95% items, reactions, people's takes, parodies, etc. Just like Daily Mail clips of the shooting that happened in New York this past week. I think it's kind of proof, the way that it's taken over my TikTok and the way that Bach took over my TikTok, just of the way that the TikTok algorithm works. Because as soon as you start even viewing the videos or going to people's profiles, you just get fed more and more.
Totally.
Because a third thing that's been on my page this week is characters. I guess they're characters, but different people who were on Love Island.
Yes, that's similar to me in my Survivor TikToks.
And I'm getting fed Love Island, and it's because when I was watching Love Island last week, I went to some of their profiles.
Exactly.
And now I'm getting fed, and I don't follow any of them, but now I'm getting fed it. So so I was getting fed all of this, but I wanted to highlight one video in particular that's a little bit more like about New York than it is about the shooting. And it is by a creator named Amy Cryer, and she's reflecting on Port Authority bus station.
If any of y'all are surprised that the killer left New York on a Greyhound bus out of a Port Authority, you have never ridden a bus in or out of Port Authority. Okay, my family's from Eastern Pennsylvania. There's a Transbridge bus line that runs from the Lehigh Valley Industrial Park all the way to downtown New York at the Port Authority near Times Square. And the place may as well be like a jail. Like, just the number of the way that it feels that it's just all ex-cons and criminals hanging out. Like, when I saw the news that this dude took off on his bike and went to Central Park, I actually thought he's going to dump the bike and then he's going to walk or ride a different bike down to Port Authority near Times Square, 44th Street. No, he went up to Port Authority up in the Bronx, which is probably a smarter move. but every time I've ridden a bus in or out of Port Authority, I have been convinced that I am on buses with just either people who have been freed from prison after committing crimes or are on their way on the bus to commit crimes.
So, first of all, this video was posted before the news broke that this guy had been arrested at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania, in Western Pennsylvania.
Is so crazy.
I already saw, because I'm so deeply on this, I'm already seeing conspiracy theories. People are, lots of conspiracy theories going on. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about our experiences at Port Authority. How often have you ridden a Port Authority bus, Dina?
I had friends who lived in Jersey, so I would go to Port Authority to go to New Jersey. And I thought Penn Station was bad. And then I went to Port Authority. And oh my God, like there's so many pigeons. It's just, you never know. People, it looks like zombies coming out of the woodwork. Also, there was that movie with Michael Cera, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. And there's like a scene in Port Authority. Do you remember this?
No.
And it displays Port Authority perfectly. She's like really drunk and needs to get on the bus at Port Authority. That's reminding me of that scene.
I feel like I also always forget like how close yet not Port Authority and Penn Station are to one another. Like I've gone to the wrong one before.
Well, that's
thinking,
silly.
Well, I'm stupid.
That's crazy.
I also often think about the time. This was so long ago because it was when you first moved into your apartment in the building you now live in, and it had no furniture. Mm-hmm. And I went to go see Bon Iver in like Prospect Park.
Oh my God, that's
with
Ben's
Molly.
favorite performer. Wow.
Wow. And I was sleeping on your floor. Mm-hmm. I don't know I guess you might have been around. I don't know, but I was sleeping straight up on your floor. Like, I don't even think there was an air mattress. I think I slept on your floor that night.
No furniture there. Yeah.
Which also, like, file that under things I would never do at this point in my life. But whatever. We were like 22. And so Molly came in from Scranton, which I want to say is like on the bus line that this girl in the video is talking about. And she like flew back. She bussed back to Scranton that night on like a 4 a.m.
Port
Authority bus. And she told me that the man next to her, she just like slept on him the whole ride. That's just like the type of behavior that happens on the Greyhounds from Port Authority. Yeah, buses in the United States are frequently...
It's really crazy.
Really bad. The nicest bus I ever took was actually in Mexico. So nice.
Wow.
Really luxe. Would do again.
I want to take the jitney one time to the Hamptons just to say I've done it, but...
Is it nice?
I think it looks nice. It leaves like in Midtown. You don't have to go to Port Authority, so maybe one day I'll do that. But, the Hamptons isn't really for me, so we'll see.
Yeah.
What else is on your For You page?
Well, one thing that I'm getting a lot of, and I think it's because we're in December and we're nearing the new year, is people talking about how they're going to have a no or low spend 2025. And I think this is a little bit tied to the fact that, remember when we were getting those like de-influencing videos?
Yes.
So I think I get some de-influencing videos. I also saw someone commenting that, I don't remember where it was, but it was like every other video I get on TikTok right now is either people saying they're doing no spend or like new Hermes bags.
Yeah, the extremes for sure.
Exactly. So this one video that I watched today by Chats with Chas, who is planning on doing a no spend 2025. And not just this one, but let's play a clip.
I am so sick of contributing to overconsumption in America, so here's my no-buy list for 2025. The first thing, I will not be buying any new beauty, skincare, hair care items at all unless I completely run out of my things. If I could show you the amount of makeup, skincare, and hair care items that I have, y'all would be literally shocked. I don't need it all and I'm not using it, so why am I continuing to buy things? No coffee shops, okay? I'm not going to Starbucks. I'm not going to District Donuts anymore. We're done. Unless I'm with friends. No new clothes. I am not buying new clothes. I have tons of clothes in my closet. But I am subscribed to the Nuuly box, and you get to pick 6 items, I think, for $100 a month. which has really helped me not buy any clothes. But let me know if I should like cancel that, because maybe that defeats the purpose. I don't know. I've been doing really good at this next one, which is home cooked meals. I eat out once a week, unless again I'm with family or friends. And that will continue in the new year. Holiday decorations. I do have a slight problem. I see something and I want it. And you know what? The trends change. I don't need to keep up. And it's a holiday that lasts, a few weeks.
So she's going through all these things that she's not going to spend money on, or that she's going to do less spending on, like eating out, buying clothes
buying
every
holiday
month,
decorations, buying coffee.
Buying coffee out, buying holiday decorations was actually really interesting to me, because I was like, that's not something that I ever spend money on.
I never spend money on that. As a Jew, I feel like, what do I need a holiday decoration for?
But I was thinking, I believe that having been in graduate school so long and then like still having college loans, this requires me to have like a pretty like strict budget. Mm-hmm. I just don't think I've ever gotten into those types of overconsumption spending habits that like for me it takes me so long to talk myself into making like a clothing purchase, right? That I but then you're seeing on TikTok that people are buying new clothes constantly,
or beauty products too. I see that,
or beauty a lot of these people who are making this, I think she might have made this comment too, where like or multiple people, where it's like, I am only going to use my products until I run out. Right. I'm not going to like buy a bunch of new shampoos, like whatever. Mm-hmm. But I guess my question for you is like, do you feel like you consume at the same level as you're seeing these people consume? Or do you feel like I think I consume differently. Yeah. I
think that's actually the wrong question. I think what this girl is trying to do is not this girl, everyone that's saying like no spend or low spend, it's just like a title for saying like, here's what a budget is. Like, it's really like a sensationalized way to say, here's how I'm gonna budget my life. What I don't like are these extremes. So a no buy, like this is why I don't like dry January. Everything doesn't need to be an extreme, but that's what does well on social media, and having these like sensationalized titles,
and maybe less like sensationalized, but more just like giving it a punchy title that can be repeated and made viral.
Exactly.
So it's like the trend is no spend, whereas what you're saying is like, that's a fun way of saying have a budget.
Exactly. I could totally see the Today Show like doing a whole segment on the new trend of no spend or no buying in 2025, because that's more exciting than saying like, here's how to budget your life.
Right. I guess also what I think about is I'm always interested in like budgeting and finance tips and stuff like that. But I guess my relationship to consumption is different, and maybe that's like generational. Yeah. I don't know if it's generational, if it's like income bracket, but I think that maybe what's happening is a lot of these people are seeing constantly new products, new shit on TikTok, and they're like really being influenced to constantly be purchasing things.
Exactly. I think we see that with like the 14-year-olds who go to Sephora and buy thousands of dollars worth of things. Like we weren't doing that, or at least I wasn't doing that at a young age. So, but it's because they see it on TikTok and they want it. So I think it's all cyclical too. Like that's like when everyone told millennials like, oh, don't buy avocado toast and coffee so you could afford a house. Like this girl is saying no coffee too, as a way to save money. Like I just can't think in those absolutes, and everyone's situation is different, but that's what does well on social media. So
yeah, that's a good point. I think it's about making it punchy or making it easily duplicated in other videos.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on to something way more fun that's been on both our For You pages, and it's very much in the vein of Wicked. It is Wicked, and you know, there's a character in Wicked named Bach, played by Ethan Slater, and this creator, her name's Molly, and her handle is TSwiftFan420. She got on TikTok after she saw Wicked and started posting approximately 10 videos a day about her hatred for Bach, and they blew up.
More than 10.
More like 1 million. Yeah. Yeah. And then she had the genius idea for a Bach Fest, which was similar to the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest. It happened in Washington Square Park this past weekend. So we were blessed with all the videos from Bachfest this weekend.
There have been so many lookalike contests, and it's just like tired now. Although an interesting juxtaposition was there was a Bach lookalike contest, and then right next door there was a shooter lookalike contest.
Right. Oh, that's so
Everyone
insane.
is just doing like a lookalike contest for anything at this point. So they did the Jennifer Hudson, Ethan Slater like song tunnel. They did that.
Yes. And I like this video by the Dot Marchi.
The fact that they want to ban an app that is responsible for Bachfest. I'm so upset. Wicked came out and a girl on this app made like 100 videos hating on Bach, and it resulted in real people in New York City going to a Bach lookalike contest that she hosted after saying 1,000 mean things about this character and the actor playing him. So many people showed up. How can they take this away from us? That is so beautiful.
Again, talking about like we can't cancel this app because of Bachfest.
Yeah, no, Bachfest brought me great joy. I was over the lookalike contest until Bachfest, and then I was in support.
And you know what was so nice? All the Bach contestants were posting and like on their train ride home and when they got back home saying they just felt so good about it. Like, because like, you know, I don't think they grew up wanting to be short or look like Ethan Slater, and they're like, it was something we would make fun of, but they genuinely felt so accepted, and like this was the coolest thing. And it was although it was a joke, it was such good taste. Like it was very, I don't know, everything. It was good vibes.
Yes, everyone was very supportive, and it was a very comfortable and friendly environment. Even though she said that she was going to publicly berate them, it was all done in good faith.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, tasteful? I don't know. in good faith, in jest, and in like affirming jest.
Yes.
They weren't being torn down. They were being built up for their Bachness.
Exactly.
And we've crowned a winner.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Moving on to our TikTok shop section, I have been getting cloud cotton candy cakes like every other video. It's telling me to buy this fucking rainbow cotton candy cake, which is so me. Like eventually I probably will buy it, but have you gotten any?
No, Dina, I haven't. I have not. I did get a really funny video by Griffin, I think it was Griffin Maxwell Brooks, talking about the TikTok shop and how it's basically just like QVC for the new generation.
Oh, exactly is that. Okay, well, more to come if I end up buying this cotton candy cloud cake.
Yeah, report back. I have yet to even really look at the TikTok shop because in the theme of over and under consumption, I don't want to allow myself to look at that trash.
What do you mean look at it? It comes up on your For You page. You're forced to look at it. Like,
I swipe so fast. Anything that says commission,
I swipe
ignore.
fast too, but it just keeps coming up.
The thing that would not stop coming up that finally disappeared were those like TikTok lives of ladies selling wigs.
Okay, that never came up for me. That's hysterical.
I was like, why does the algorithm think I want a wig? Oh, one of my least favorite things that happens on TikTok is when you accidentally click on a live,
I hate it
and then
so
you
much.
can't get out of the lives.
Wait, that also reminds me, I accidentally swiped over to STEM. There's the STEM section, and so every video was about science or math, and I'm like, what's happened to my For You page? And then I realized I was on STEM.
I was wondering if that was STEM, like science, technology,
Yes.
engineering, math. Wow. Wow.
Okay, last but not least, we have our New York City section. We have a video by Low-Key YRI.
I forgot how bad gentrification was until I went to Williamsburg. And they're like, oh my God, where's that accent from? Your mother's ass. I'm from Brooklyn. What are you talking about? They're like, where are you from? I'm a video director, photographer from California. Where are you born and raised? I'm like, Girl, I work at the local fucking place in my neighborhood, and I'm from here. How you doing? Where am I from? You can't tell where I'm from? You can't. And then they go, oh, where's Bath Beach? Where's Bay Ridge? Sheep's Bay? Up your ass, that's where it is. Don't come over here. Stay where you at. I was in Bed-Stuy. People were looking at me like I'm Bigfoot. Like they never seen nobody like me. Like I'm the Loch Ness Monster the way I talk. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Where am I from? Where are you from, ho? Then I'm getting a bagel. It's like, on the menu, where's the bacon, egg, and cheese? They got lox with blueberry schmear.
I just love the idea of not recognizing a Brooklyn accent.
That is crazy to me. I mean, I grew up with a mom and dad from Brooklyn, so I know a Brooklyn accent, but people of Williamsburg should know what it is. It's insane.
That's insane. I can't imagine like going to the city and not knowing that, or at least not having heard it, or having the audacity to ask where you're from.
Yeah, that's insane. All right. Well, thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful week. And
thank you, Dina.
Anytime. We'll see you
and the next time.
Oh.
No. The next time we speak, Dina will be a married woman.
Oh my God, I'll be betrothed.
Oh my God. Are you ready to be betrothed?
I'm ready.
Good. I'm ready too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.